Welcome back to One Punch Man Anime Review, episode number... I think it's 39. We're here reviewing the 34th episode of the series, which is also the third and last episode of Core 1 from Punch Man. Still don't believe the fact. It's so baffling the fact this actually is part 1. I have never heard of this for the show. The first seasons were definitely seasons. This is Core 1, so we have a longer season. So, title of this episode is Immortal Bloodbath. And this episode, according to the Wiki page, covered chapters... Let's see, it was chapters 104, 105, 106, 107, it has pages 14 to 33. Chapter 108, pages 1 to 20, 25 to 28. The 108 is actually true because I think, because I looked up on the actual app itself, because here's the thing. So, chapters 104 to 107 on the app is actually chapters like 99 to like 102, and then there's actually 108. And there's a scene in this episode I was really looking forward to seeing here. They do make a slight change here. Yes, they do. I'll get to that. So we start off with Zombie Man, where he is killing zombies. Not zombies, he's killing monsters. There's one cool moment where he's like walking this, like, obviously a pillar. Monsters come out, and he's like slash slash slash. He's perfectly fine. Like, and then he goes to a room. Like, ooh, this room is ominous. Opens door, surrounded by monsters, and in the middle is basically a vampire, a pure blood vampire. Like, really, a vampire? Yep. I get ahead. This actually was really cool here. This one. Yeah. Now, I should point out they did make a couple changes later on. I'll get to that. So, then, after dealing with the vampire, which they say in the episode, it took like 30 minutes, and they basically kill each other over 200 times. Actually, the vampire killed him 200 times. And then there's like 30 of us. He's like, it took all of us. And he's like, there's 30 of you, right? So he proceeds to lock the door. Like, Ben thinks he's really strong, and then off, like, behind this door, he kills all those monsters, and one apparently chopped off his arm. He sit down, eat a sweet, and try to perform basically what happened last episode. And he's like, I hate sweating. And then we cut to, get this, the Atomic Samurai students slice new monsters. Before that, we should talk about basically Pig Guy. He got his pig monster, which he's later seen eating the damn thing, which in the anime, they do make a slight change here with him. This actually is one of 3 changes they make in the actual episode itself. This is one of them, where the tail was much more into his body than it was in the manga. Yes. So, in the case of Atomic Samurai students, they just... At first, like, go down the hallway, find monsters, and all of a sudden they're confronted by the private security sent by that kid that was supposed to rescue his father, and they're being brainwashed by Do S. I was known as Monster Princess Do S. Very beautiful woman, despite her teeth. Yeah. And she's like, ooh, and then all of a sudden, Sweet Mask, Omni Mask shows up, and like they're all brainwashed because they supposedly kills them, but don't worry, they're alive in the manga. And of course, she got Mask like, ooh, and now when they do basically show her from her rear end, here's another change they made here, because in the manga you get a full frontal view of her rear end. And in the anime, it's side butt. Yep. They make a slight change here. I don't mind it at all. It's perfectly fine. And then, of course, Sweet Mask comes up to her. And here's another change they made, because in the manga you clearly can see on the master's face here, they basically shut him out. He says the same thing in the manga, all monsters will die. And then he proceeds to basically, like, kill her, which we don't see her body. Nope, it's assumed that he killed her by either he basically puts his hand on her jaw, like he could have ripped her jaw off. They don't really show it per se, but based on the position, it's almost like she was about to do something to his groin because she was really close to it. Yeah, if you read the manga, if anybody's ever read the manga, this scene, which on the app it's chapter 100 when this happens, and online it's actually, I think it's chapter 105. I think it is. Yeah, 105. Where this is a very, very brief fight, and don't blame the anime for this. Yeah, this is actually not the anime's fault for. Well, kind of. They do make a small change because it's more violent in the manga. Because he actually crushes her skull. In the anime, it's implied he did that. Yeah, and they have a close-up. Basically, it's like all monsters must die, and then of course, basically, right after this, and then we see atomic. Then we see the students. Then we see Atomic Star battling G5. And then, of course, they fight off. And the disciples fight off against this guy called Devil Long Hair, which they fight against him. Now, the chapter I read, they do defeat him on the penultimate page, but then they cut to Pew Pew Prisoner, which they cut out of this episode, which they're probably saving that for next week's episode. I'm presuming of that, but we'll find out about that next week. So. And then we have where Atomic Samurai reaches Taro. That was the kid who knows Geru, and he's been chased by. I'm not kidding about the name of this character, so please do not criticize me for calling this by this name. As a matter of fact, the dub in the anime calls this too. This creature is known as Black Sperm. Yes. No joke, that is seriously his name. As for why the heck he's called that, I have no idea. It is by far one of the most baffling names I have ever heard of a character. He has simply put a small imp who looks like a giant hand, looks like he's in a suit, and he's confronted by the end of the episode by Atomic Samurai and in the episode. So the version that they adapted the episode where Sweet Mass is fighting Do S, it's actually from an earlier version of the actual thing. Let me find the actual chick, because I saw a picture on here where he basically crushes her skull. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, he was basically like on page 2 of chapter 102, which is known as viewer discretion advised. That's what they call the chapter here. And here they show our full front, back. Here in the anime they show from the side. And they take out our mask, reveal his tongue. And this is a version I've seen. I've never seen the other one, basically, because the one they have here on the app, this is what I saw on the episode, where you have her basically near, she's like on her knees, and then he grabs like this and kills her that way. Now, the version I've also seen, this is from the earlier version. This is more of like a less violent version. Yeah, I'm not sure why in the world they changed this for. Because, this is the version I'm reading here. I'm reading from the actual app. And what I see here is the actual what I see in the anime. So, yeah, there's a picture I see on here of him basically slamming her head into a wall. That didn't happen here. Yeah, this is, well, let's see if I can find it here. So the version that's on the app here, this is actually version 1 of the story. And version 2 was the more violent version. Yeah, so if you're curious though, like, have I read the original version of the chapter? The new version? No, I've only read this version that's on the Weekly Shonen Jump app. But, gotta admit, really good episode. And, well, here's also something really weird about this episode. This is also the first episode of the season where the awesome opening title sequence is at the end of the episode. Yes, not the beginning of the episode. Oh no, it's at the end. Which, I think that's a first for the series. Because they've never had the opening title sequence at the end of the episode that I've seen before. Because all the previous episodes always had, like, pretty much almost like at the beginning of the episode. Like, either after the code opened. This is basically, we had a whole episode go by, and you watch the episode like, where's the opening title sequence? Oh, there it is. They put it as the ending credits. And next episode is called Top Dragons, which should be interesting. Yeah, it should definitely be that way. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, there's only 2 more episodes left to go for the entire season. Yeah, only 2 more. Well, for the score anyways. And then that's it. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up we have is reincarnated as a dragon hatchling. Okay? For the next video. Bye.